Hey guys, this is Tiffany again, and I'm such a fan of RWBY, and of course I've been reviewing this new season, season 5, chapter 5 I guess, but yeah, or volume, yeah, there you go, that's the word, volume 5, and I'm so excited because this newest episode, episode 2 of season 5, or of, I guess, volume 5, is called The First Step. And it's just getting so, first and foremost, the animation this season is the best I've ever seen with RWBY. I'm really excited for that because, obviously they've had this capability and now it's just spectacular. And so with The First Step, we get to see right where it picked up. Obviously we know that Leonardo is reporting to Salem, and it shows him with her seer Grimm, and she's talking to him, and he relates to her what he was told by Crow, is that the Spring Maiden they believe is with the Bronwyn clan, specifically Yang's mom, Raven, and that clan. So of course they, I guess Salem in a way is like, she wanted the information, but she's not too happy that Crow's the one that gave it to him, and that's how they're finding out, because obviously at the end of the day, it's going to be a war. So, and of course we learned that the guy that kind of overheard the conversation was Arthur, and Salem kind of treats him as though he's disposable. Obviously she's going to treat Leonardo that way, but she treats Arthur with kind of just like this disdain, or I'm better than you kind of thing. So they talk about contacting Hazel, and we're not quite, I wasn't quite sure who he was. Big shocker to he, but yeah, I was like, who's Hazel, but I guess you learn. So they also tell Arthur that she tells Arthur to leave because she's the guy that we saw in the last season that has like the scorpion tail that was sliced off, Tyrion, he needs a new tail. So she tells Arthur to go get him a new tail, or that to come get whatever piece that they have to give him a new tail. I'm not quite sure what to expect, but as we know, he is bonkers and he's crazy. So yeah, him with a new tail is not a good idea, and not a comforting thought, that's for sure. So he's a little scary there. And then, of course, Salem seems to warn Cinder about RWBY. She's like, if she has harnessed this power of her silver eyes, that gives you reason to beware. And she almost doesn't want her to go into contact with her, or have any conflict or a run-in with her where she could possibly get hurt, because you almost get the sense that the power of the silver eyes has that same kind of connotation of maybe even a maiden, and maybe RWBY is a maiden, maybe she's the summer maiden, who knows. I no shocker there to me if that turns out that way. I've already called it. So let's see, then of course it goes back to Weiss, and she's left her family home, and she's traveling, and these wasp looking Grimm start attacking her ship, and they seem to have like their stingers have like almost like a rope attached to them to to grab on and yank and pull, and to kind of keep hold of the vessels. And of course this like giant wasp looking creature comes and attacks as well, that we learn is called a Queen Lancer, and embeds its stinger and claws into the ship itself, into like the roof, and a little scary. So we've seen all manner of Grimm, but this one is right up there with ones I would never want to encounter if I were in Vale or in Haven or any of those realms. So yeah, creepy. So the ship does crash in a sense, and you see how like Wise kind of shows her skill. You know, she is using the dust to, you know, activate her sword and to get ammo, obviously, to shoot at these wasp creatures. But at the end of the day, that doesn't really work, especially against the Queen Lancer. So she ends up having to summon her, you know, finally showing her aura, and she summons up her summon of like a kind of like a soldier. I don't really know the technical term for it, but he goes out and he, you know, slices and dices that Queen Lancer, man, and finally gets that last blow in there, and it's just so epic. I mean, that's one thing about RWBY that I love, is when you have the scenes like that, that final blow is always epic, and it's always to freaking amazing music. I mean, the music of RWBY is phenomenal, and I own all the soundtracks, and this one is very much shaping up to be up there as one of the best yet again. And I'm so excited. I mean, just the guitar in that scene when Weiss is, you know, facing that Queen Lancer and the wasp looking grim. It's just, you know, it gets the blood pumping, and oh, it's so great. So, but yeah, and of course you see her use her magic to kind of slow the ship's descent in a way, to kind of try to catch it in like these magical nets to, like, you know, stop it as it falls, but it does finally crash. And then it goes back to, we see Adam, which is, whoo, you know, we've seen Menagerie already, we've seen Blake, and here comes Adam, you know, and of course we know he's been running a faction of the White Fang and been rallying them for a war with Salem and with her cronies and the you know, the enemy, as it were. And he is in Menagerie talking to High Leader Khan, and High Leader Khan is, you know, obviously not too thrilled with him. Just the things he's done is not within like what their goal is. So she, you know, does kind of, I guess, talk down to him in a way. Hazel shows up, and it's this big, bulky, like, hefty guy walking through here, and he talks to the High Leader as well. And unfortunately, we see that Sienna gets betrayed, and Adam kills her and takes over as the leader. And yeah, it's rough. I can't even, I mean, I guess I kind of saw it coming, because he has been taking leadership this whole time. When we've seen him, even with his interactions with Blake, he was making those moves to become even more powerful, even more in charge of what was happening. And it finally has happened. He has gotten all these people of Menagerie to follow him. All these, you know, factions of the White Fang he's already gone kind of behind the scenes, behind Khan, behind Sienna's back, and turned everybody on his side. And here we get to finally see just how far-reaching his hold is. And they're all siding with him now. And then we see that Weiss is alive, luckily. I don't recall seeing the pilot. Maybe he was knocked out or unconscious. But we do see Weiss laying there, and who should happen upon her but Raven and her crew, Raven Bronwyn. So it's kind of, you know, you see her almost delighted in a very menacing kind of way, and you see her boot or foot come in Weiss's face, and that's the end of the episode. So, I mean, I almost wish that Raven would have, maybe once she learns she's in league with Ruby and Yang, I don't know, maybe she'll listen, but who knows. I mean, obviously we know that Raven's doing her own thing now, and she's not really, she seems to be siding with maybe not necessarily the enemy, but nor with the good guys, I guess. So who knows what to expect here. I mean, what we've seen of Raven, we know she saved Yang. We know that she's kind of shown up where needed. She's kind of shadowed Yang in some of her battles, and just kind of popped out of the blue. And we know she talked to Crow. We know she's kind of talked to quite a few people. So, I mean, who knows what her ultimate motive or thoughts are one way or the other. So, I guess now we'll learn. But I'm really, really excited about this season of RWBY. I'm hoping that Jean finally comes into his own and gets his aura, and we finally get to see what it is. I have a feeling it's going to be some sort of like a shield-like aura that protects his friends, and you know, something of that nature, maybe. I'm not sure. But with his name, Jean, you know, I mean, obviously we know Pyrrha had more of the Joan of Arc kind of persona, but I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's something more to Jean that we have yet to see, and I'm hoping that comes this episode. I don't know. I love the series. I love RWBY. I'm such a big fan. Love Rooster Teeth and everything that they do, Red versus Blue and RWBY, and all the awesomeness that is Rooster Teeth. So, but yeah, that's it for this review of RWBY, the first step. And obviously, I also do reviews of the Orville and of Star Trek Discovery, and we just did Walking Dead as well. I'm going to be doing Game of Thrones when it comes back, and Stranger Things too, as well as many other awesome shows for you guys. Any exclusives from conventions, because we don't just sit at a table with the Nerdettes, we actually work conventions. So we actually get behind the scenes exclusive content to show you guys from those. So hopefully you like that. We have a Destiny 2 giveaway going on right now, so if you haven't already, subscribe. We also have a video link that we've posted on how to win and how to get entries to win. So check that out. We do unboxings of Loot Crate, Loot Anime, Owl Crate, Scotchbox Japanese Snacks, as well as I just got Anime Bento, and I have the Random Fandom box. So we'll see how that goes when it shows up. But yeah, any nerd stuff we get, we want to share it with you guys as we unbox it, like Cards Against Humanity or any fun stuff, we're going to share it. We're going to do live gaming here shortly, so stay tuned for that. Just lots of fun, and hopefully you enjoy it and want to see more, so definitely subscribe. You can also like us on Facebook at facebook.com/thenerdettes, and thank you again for watching, and hope to see you again. Bye guys.